Welcome back to Shamrock Fresh's Specialty Produce. This week we're going to look at 7 unique items, hopefully things that maybe you can incorporate into your menu. If anybody's looking at a new menu change after the first of the year, this is a good time to maybe get some ideas. The first item we're going to look at here is our Rainbow Chard. This comes in a 1 dozen bunch, so 12 of these to a case. And Rainbow Swiss Chard is a member of the beet family, so very familiar with beet greens. You've kind of got the same colored veins on them. You're able to eat the leaves. If they're really tender like this, you could utilize them in a salad. As they start to get a little more mature, you're going to want to braise them or saute them like spinach. Fabulous flavor. The bitterness goes away once it is cooked, and what's nice is you can take it all the way down to the stem. This can be chopped up and eaten and sauteed with the leaves. Once again, great flavor with this, and it adds some color to the plate. The next item here, we always like to highlight a mushroom. These are our King Trumpet mushrooms. There's 10 of these 10.5-ounce packages in the case, so that comes out to roughly 6.5 pounds. You'll see they are in more of a pillow pack, and although it does take up more space in the case, it'll help with the shelf life of the product. It protects it and keeps the moisture out, but enough in it to keep the mushroom from drying out. These are a great mushroom to split in half. You can grill them, saute them. They accompany proteins like meat and seafood very well, and they do hold up for quite some time in the cooler. Right, the next item here, this is our strawberry papaya, and don't let the outside fool you. It will get some of the skin marks, the darker areas on the skin. That does not affect the inside. And if, in the past we've looked at the Meridol papayas, the regular papayas. These are strawberry papayas, so these are going to have that great orange color on the inside. You're going to want to scrape out the seeds. It's going to be a little bit sweeter in flavor, and great color if you're going to be putting it on, say, a fruit plate or just as a garnish versus, say, a regular papaya, which is going to be a little more yellow in color. Next item we're going to look at here is our Asian pear. This is a 14 count case, and Asian pear is actually a cousin of the regular pears that we're used to, so it is in the pear family. However, you can see it looks and actually eats more like an apple. Now, it's got all these little speckles on the outside. That is the way it is supposed to look. They're very crunchy. They have a slight sweetness to them, not that you would get from an apple, but more of that pear flavor. They're great to shave raw over salads. You can poach them. You can do all kinds of stuff, candy them, but just something a little more unique than utilizing just a regular pear or an apple. Next item we're going to look at here, this is our Thai coconut, and the Thai coconut is typically a younger coconut, and so it's easier for them to clean the outside. So where typically we're used to the brown husk, the furry husk all the way around, that's hard to get into, these have already been shaved and cleaned. A lot of times, traditional to its region, they'd cut the top and actually stick a straw down in here, because if you were to shake this and you could hear it, it's filled with coconut water versus a coconut milk, and sometimes there's even a little bit of the meaty pulp on the inside. So utilized a lot in Thai cooking, different curries, things like that, but Shamrock does stock this on our shelves virtually year-round. Now, we always like to highlight our microgreens. This week we're looking at micro celery. Once again, 4-ounce container, and a little bit does go a long ways. It has a very strong celery flavor. So unlike some of the other microgreens, which tend to mellow out after you eat it, this holds its intense flavor for quite some time. So if you're topping a dish with this, once again, just a tiny bit will give you that added boost and little flavor that you would want, as well as visually a nice little garnish on top. Alright, the last item we're going to look at here is Savoy cabbage, and this is probably one of my favorite in the cabbage family. You can see that it's got, just visually, it's got some great texture to the leaves. They're nice and crisp and firm. It's a great cabbage to shave and saute. You don't even necessarily need to braise it down as far as you would, say, a red cabbage or something of that nature. These leaves are typically tender enough that you can also steam them and put some type of force meat on the inside if you wanted to do like a ground turkey or maybe a wild game, and then roll it and serve it as an appetizer. You could steam them off so that they're most of the way cooked, and then just flash them prior to sending them out to your customer. Cut them in half. But once again, you could use this for a lot of different applications. This is a 40-pound case, but keep in mind, I mean, Savoy cabbage, it is fairly hardy. It's going to hold up quite some time in your cooler. So keep in mind, with New Year's coming up, that's typically a good time for everybody to change their menu. We just want to give you some ideas of some of the specialty items Shamrock carries on their shelf. You can get with your sales rep, find out some other items that may be coming into season, and we'll see you after the New Year.